Thank you all very much. Our first topic tonight, the Dobbs decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which reversed Roe v. Wade and sent the abortion decision back to the states. Senator Lindsey Graham has proposed a national abortion standard. First to Rick Becker, what is your position on that?
Well, I've not read the bill. However, I'm aware that it's a 15-week ban. My first concern was constitutionality. However, I see that we have in federal statute under Title 18, I believe, that it's illegal to commit murder. Recognizing that the unborn is a child, is a human being, it is murder to commit abortion, and therefore I would be in favor of a ban and the details just to make sure that it stays constitutional. We veered away from that. I see it in the votes with the career politicians all the time, and we need to stay true to that Constitution. But I believe we can do that with the bill that has a federal ban on abortion.
For Katrina Christiansen, I've seen some advertising online saying you would be a megaphone for women's health care. In your opinion, should Congress codify the Roe decision?
Yes, actually, Roe provided states the opportunity to regulate their abortion care. A federal ban would take away states' rights. Roe v. Wade balanced states' rights with the rights of women and girls. And I think since the Dobbs decision, we've seen just how terrible and reprehensible the government's interference in women and children's health care is. Women are experiencing sepsis, blood loss. They're being denied prescriptions. Children are being forced to carry the pregnancies of rapists. It is disgusting that we are interfering with the decisions that need to be made between a doctor and a patient. The government does not belong in the doctor's office.
For John Hoeven, your position.
David, I'm the only person on the stage here who has consistently voted pro-life. And I've worked for pro-life policies at the state level, which we have here in North Dakota, and I've worked for pro-life policies at the federal level. I voted for conservative judges, and I, will continue to advocate for life as I have throughout my career.
Dave, I'd like to respond to that. There's a couple of points. First off, Katrina points out the doctor-patient relationship, which I clearly understand. And I find it curious and a little bit inconsistent when we're talking about the sanctity of the doctor-patient relationship when it comes to abortion, but it gets thrown out the window when we're talking about COVID. As to Senator Hoeven, the remark about consistently pro-life. I will tell you that in 2013, I had some bad votes. I made a mistake. I admitted to it. And what I have been since then is 100% pro-life. The trigger law that is in effect because of the Dobbs decision, I was a co-sponsor on. Additionally, I will point out that although John says he's consistently pro-life, he has voted for funding to Planned Parenthood on at least 2 occasions in 2015 and 2018. Something that has been pointed out is immoral and has been a big disappointment to the people that elected him.
Well, I'd like to hear...
I would like to respond to that. You both want government involved in these decisions. We need to know how that's going to work. Where are you going to draw the line? Are you going to make a child carry a rapist pregnancy? Are you going to make people who are facing complicating situations die in the hospital or at home because the hospital won't accept them? Are you going to restrict access to birth control? Are you going to imprison doctors that just are fulfilling their oath? All over the country, Republicans say they're pro-life, but they avoid asking questions about what government regulations mean. Even in the state of North Dakota, we don't really know what the AG is going to do about ectopic pregnancies. It's foolishness. It's reprehensible.
John Hoeven, you got a chance.
I'm always going to support life in regard to the life of the mother. Obviously, there's an exception there, and as you know, in North Dakota's law, there are also...
So you would let a child that's been raped carry a pregnancy? We know where he stands.
Again, in North Dakota's law, first there's an exception for life of the mother. Also, because it involves force against women, there's an exception for rape and for incest. So those are addressed. I think the question that Katrina needs to answer is, would she allow abortions right up to the point of birth? As to Rick, I think, again, he talks about being pro-life, but more than 7 times he has voted for abortion. He voted for abortion after there's a fetal heartbeat, after a baby is pain capable, even for gender selection. As regards his assertion about me voting for Planned Parenthood, I've always voted for the Hyde Amendment, which says no federal funding for abortion, and I've sponsored and continue to sponsor legislation that would defund Planned Parenthood.
I just need to respond to John's talking point. He only has talking points or meandering points. But the reality is that he's being dishonest about abortion care. When he's talking about those people that are having late-term abortions, he's vilifying people that are in the most desperate moments, the most grievous moments that no parent wants to be in, the toughest decisions imaginable. It is important to me that I represent and protect all North Dakotans. That's the thing that's important, not scoring cheap political points.
And I also have one point to make, Dave. John talks about this Hyde Amendment, which prohibits funding of abortions, and that's what he clings to, and that's a very typical career politician move, because what he's doing is saying, yes, it's not for abortions. That's the Hyde Amendment, but he's still funding Planned Parenthood. The Hyde Amendment says you can send money to abortion providers as long as it's not actually for the abortion procedure. But you can help them pay for all of their other costs, which then frees up money to perform those abortions. It's unbelievable that a pro-life person, because I believe John is pro-life, but he is so enamored with spending that he will vote time and time again for omnibus spending bills, even when it includes funding for Planned Parenthood.
Dave,
John,
I
you
do
have
have
one
to make
last.
one final point. If what Rick says is true, which it isn't, why do all of the pro-life groups support me? Why do they all endorse me and not him?
Well, I can answer that. They have, when you have two candidates that are strongly pro-life, because North Dakota Right to Life has given me a 100% rating, national bylaws say that they are required to endorse the incumbent. That's why John Hoeven is endorsed instead of me.
I do need to move on to the next topic. If